If you have a roommate that is lesbian and dresses on, puts makeup weirdly, and this disgusts you, how do you deal with it? Hello everyone. We have the bonnet on, we have the lip balm on, we have the matcha latte. Look at the matcha I made. Wait. It looks dead now, but I made a bet. Today we're gonna have a girl talk. A very beautiful girl talk. And let's hope this goes well, because I have never done a girl talk before. So let's get this started, and we are in the ghetto, because obviously you guys know I don't have my ring light anymore, so I'm having to use that on my laptop. Without further ado, let's get this video done. So I set up a Google form and Instagram poll. So we're gonna go through the the Google form first, because I feel like people on Google form go crazier than people who go through on Instagram. But I may be lying, because sometimes people are actually very different, and we're gonna see how different that is. That's a good one. So this headline was, give me your best girl talk questions, anything on hygiene, dating, school. I don't know how far I don't know what the contents of this video is going to contain, because obviously I kind of like went wild with asking anybody to ask me anything, and please people ask me civil questions. I don't want to have to talk about sex throughout this video, please God, please. So just from Google Forms we only had 3 responses. So the first question is, how do I prevent odor down there? You can check my feminine hygiene routine video, but to prevent odor down there, the best way to prevent odor down there, for me personally, what works for me is I drink a lot of water. I watch what I eat. Personally, when I have any forms of fish, which is also really ironic because I genuinely don't like eating fish at all, but whenever I eat fish, it makes me smell fishy down there. And it's not just fish, like, even when I have shrimp or prawns, any form of like seafood, it makes me smell weirdly just down there. So I avoid that, but that's just me though. When it comes to the down there routine, I make sure that there's no hair there. I know that there are people that tell you that, oh, you can keep your hair down there, that it's not gonna smell, but then it's gonna smell to a certain extent. But it all depends on how much you take care of it. I don't even like having a form of down there hair. I make sure that I shave it off and I obviously have my hair removal routine with my laser. So I shave that off. I make sure that there's no form of hair, because whenever there's hair there, I promise you, these are things that most people don't really like to talk about. Whenever there's hair down there and you sweat, hair traps the sweat down there. And if you're like me that has a shower twice a day, even after that, it might still smell funky afterwards, so I just take out the hair anyway. Going back on what I've said, I shower twice a day as well, and whenever it comes to washing down there, I focus mainly with water. Don't listen to what everyone is telling you about using some kind of wash. You can, but then you obviously don't have to. You're not supposed to put the thing. You're not supposed to put the washing agent inside your hoo-ha. But when it comes to washing there in general, the form of cleanest and healthiest way of washing your down there is water. Just water based. A good 3 minutes, rub everywhere, make sure that it is properly amazing. And there's no amazing smell of vagina. I'm not saying down there sis, but there's actually no proper smell. Everybody has their unique scent, and if you're like me, that from a very young age I've actually been tracking the way I smell, so you can call that weird, but I don't care. But from a very young age I've been tracking the way I smell, and I'm noticing and I'm very quick to notice any form of like changes when it comes to anything down there. So those are the things that I do to make sure that there's no odor down there, essentially. Any tips for weight loss? There's gym. There's so much out there. There's so many things out there. I've never had to actively lose weight because I'm trying to add weight, if that makes sense. Like when it comes to eating food and everything, in fact, I already don't even like eating food in general. That's already out there into the public. But I try my best to always make sure that I eat food. And if I go a week without having food, I have lost all the weight that I have accumulated, and it is so bad. So I'm not really the best person to come for weight loss. I can tell you about weight gain. I have a whole video about that. But weight loss is something that it just happens when I don't eat. How can I be more comfortable with my skin as someone living in a predominantly white place? This is actually going to be a really interesting topic, because obviously I'm in that exact position. I'm going to tell you right now that you're going to have to hold on for the tricky ride, because when I started in the first year of my uni, I got so carried away about like trying to fit in, trying to like be nice with people, and then that literally like erased who I was. The whole of like my Nigerian like outbursty personality went down the drain, and then people started taking a lot of advantage of me, and it came to that kind of a thing where I was like, at the end of first year, I told myself like, Chimsom, this is not who you are. You need to change. You need to get back to the Chimsom that was popping in Abuja. And it was like, I guess what I'm trying to say is find who you are in the most non-cliche way possible, because it is hard. It is hard down here. I think it has even come to a point where right now, like girl, it has even come to a point where right now that I even speak Nigerian slang with my white friends, and it's like I have become so comfortable with myself that it's like I'm so tired of pretending. And the thing is that this is obviously different from a lot of people, but there comes a time where you will stop wanting to pretend for people, that you just want to be your most natural self ever. I watch a lot of black movies. What else do I do? Whenever I feel like it's too much for me here, I literally travel a lot. I go to Leeds, I go to Manchester, I go to London. I try to get myself out away from this place as much as possible. I feel like the overarching note I can give you is to have self-confidence, and to get that self-confidence you need a very good support system. So in first year I had a very terrible support system. The friends I had weren't even making me feel my best in general. That's one. So you need to have a good support system. So whenever I can, I call my parents. I have a boyfriend. I have Janine, my lovely friend. I have Chidera. I call people. They remind me who I am in some kind of like subtle way. So if you guys are watching this, I love you guys from the very bottom of my heart. I'm reminded constantly of where I come from. That's like another tip, I guess. Self-confidence can also be taught through the Bible as well. If you read a lot of your Bible, you become more grounded as a person. And reading self-help books as well. I'm about to even get self-help books very soon. I actually want to rebrand my whole self for 2025. But let's not even get into that. But it's that kind of thing where I was like, you need to have the biggest assurance of who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you're not gonna be able to like fathom a lot of experiences from what you're getting in that space, if that makes sense. That's the Google form done. We're gonna go to the Instagram girl you say. So someone asked me if I'm single. Please move away. What is your opinion on waiting till marriage? Well, from the Christian point of view, I'm gonna say you're gonna have to wait till marriage. Now, I'm not gonna sit down here and tell everybody that to be preaching that when most people know it, but coming from a Christian point of view, it's more viable to wait till marriage. And someone asked me a really nice question. How is the show going? How are you really feeling at the moment? So if you guys don't know, I'm an actor, and our school in association with our theatre, the Stephen Joseph Theatre, we have done a panto style creation for kids to watch our show, and we've been running for the past 7 days actually, because we opened last week Thursday and today is Thursday. So we've been on a roll, and I'm quite happy with the things that we've created and how I'm feeling at the moment. I'm feeling tired. I don't even know why I'm feeling tired. Like, what's actually really interesting is the fact that I woke up this morning quite early. I slept well, but I was just tired throughout the show, and I don't know what it is. I think I'm eating as well and I'm sleeping, because I'm doing everything that I normally do, but it's like I'm just fatigued. And tomorrow we have 2 shows, but we start by 1:30, and also there's a 4 p.m. show as well. But aside that, I'm feeling quite good. I'm quite happy with the personal journey I have gone through, because it's so easy to like from class, we're being like, oh, you do class shows or whatever, but then doing a show every day and engaging the audience and learning how to respond to the audience on site and actually enjoy the show that you're doing is very interesting, because the first couple of rehearsals and to the very last point of the rehearsals, there was a lot of things changed, a lot of time and dedication, a lot of energy put into the show. At first it was looking like the show wasn't going to be good enough, but then it actually changed the narrative. It became really good enough. We put a lot of energy together and it was just amazing. And as an all-round actor, I'm really happy with the journey that I have gone through. Hey girly, tips on how to make perfumes last long on your body. Do you know, I don't know. I think the most easiest form of one that we've been taught from a very long time is you use Vaseline and then you put the perfume on and then it lasts longer, which has been working, I think, because that's what I do to this day. But then it honestly depends on the kind of perfume and the texture of the perfume, if that makes sense. For example, if you have an oil-based perfume, it might last longer than your alcohol-based perfume, and some oud perfumes last longer throughout the day than your Western normal perfume. So it also depends on the kind of perfume that you have, but to make perfume last all day, first of all, you need to smell good. You need to properly smell good before you actually put perfume on. Shower. Don't put perfume on a dirty body. Thank you. We don't do that nonsense in this channel. If you are sweating in my presence, you put perfume on, I'm gonna look at you in disdain. I'm gonna look at you like you're a disgusting cow. Literally. Don't do that. None of that here. If you sweat, I respect you more if you're just smelling like sweat than having to put perfume and that sweat mixed together. Atrocious behavior. But anyway, what I'm saying is make sure you've had a proper shower, you've used a good lotion, and apply a bit of Vaseline and put the perfume on there, and it lasts longer all day. That's what I've been taught anyway, and I think it's working. And how do you handle insecurity while trying to embrace feminine? I can't pronounce that word. I thought for the life of me. Femininity. The best answer I can give is it all starts from pretense. When I was young, before I started becoming really self-confident, like at the age of 14. Should I see this on the internet? I'm not gonna tell you guys what my insecurity is, because people are gonna use that in the future to be a bit funny. But anyways, when I was 14, I used to hate a lot of the things on my body. Like I used to be very skinny, and I'm still skinny, but I used to really hate the fact that I was really bony at that point, and I had more insecurities then than I have now. And I used to do this thing that used to annoy everybody, but what I used to do was look in the mirror and forcefully tell myself that I am beautiful. It took a month. Every time I said it, it felt weird. I didn't like the way I was saying it, but I kept on practicing to the point where I actually started to believe it, because I feel like the concept of beauty is just in our heads. So I used to tell myself that I'm beautiful, and it kind of altered the way I really saw myself. Now to this day, I only have one insecurity, only one on my body. That's the only one. But then you can change the way you think about yourself by forcefully saying things about yourself, and that changes the way your brain processes that information. Handling insecurity while trying to embrace femininity is very hard, but the first step you're gonna have to take is to handle that insecurity. To this day, when it comes to that, my particular insecurity, right, I still have a thing about it, but it's not a thing where it breaks me. I recognize it and I try my best to hide it. It's not that kind of thing where it's like I'm thinking of getting a surgery for it. I would never want to change the way I look just because I don't like the way something in my body looks. It's that kind of thing where it's like I have become very comfortable with the way I look by telling myself that I am these things, and my brain has made me realize that, you know what, actually I'm that girl, and every part of me belongs to me and was given to me by God, and I cherish it honestly and truly. So hopefully that makes sense. But then trying to navigate femininity, you need to handle the way you feel about insecurities. But I'm not saying get rid of the insecurities, no. Change the mindset around the insecurity, and then bit by bit you start embracing the way you want to portray your femininity, if that makes sense. What are your fave feminine products? I'm not even going to talk about that. It's in my last Vlogmas video. Watch that. Mwah. Someone has just asked me a very interesting question. If you have a roommate that is lesbian and dresses on, puts makeup weirdly, and this disgusts you, how do you deal with it? I'm gonna read that slowly. If you have a roommate that is lesbian and dresses or puts makeup weirdly and this disgusts, how do you deal with it? In all honesty, you're homophobic. There's nothing really much to say about that, because if you didn't know that she was lesbian, you'd only just say, oh, that girl can't put makeup on, or that girl is wearing makeup weirdly, or she's not putting makeup nicely. That's the only thing that will come to your head. But the fact that it disgusts you, and I'm going to say this on my channel and I don't care, I'm not homophobic, but one thing I will say is I'm a Christian, and I'm going to put that out there proudly. They all know what they're doing. We can't judge them. I would never tell anybody I hate them. I will talk to them. Like when I say them, I mean anybody in the LGBTQ community. Like, I'm never gonna be the kind to make them feel a certain way about it. I will prove it to them that yes, I'm Christian and I feel a certain way about this, because obviously it's a sin, but then there are other sins in the world that nobody seems to focus on, that we seem to focus on their sin so badly. But that's what I'm gonna say. I love you all regardless. Oh, someone said, I'm so afraid I'm not going to make it as a girl child. In all honesty, I feel you. That is the realest statement someone has said in this video. I don't even know what else I can even say on that, because I'm feeling the exact same way and there's no way I can cope about it. But all I can just say is have faith and have God. I have this certain plan for where my life is gonna go, and if plan A doesn't work, I have plan B. If plan B doesn't work, there's plan Z. And I've already planned all of these things, and I'm not gonna cry if any of my plans don't work. I'm just letting it for God to do what he has to do. Whatever is not in God's will, what can I do about it? What can I actually do? I think the thing that I can give you though is, if you can't control it, leave it alone. And obviously society sees women in the most disgusting way possible, and they can never let us live. But all I'm just gonna say to you is just do what makes you happy. Do what you can to help your family. Do what you can to be nice to your friends. Do what you can to be that radiating girl that you can be. That's all I'm gonna have to say, because this world is still gonna view us as the most monstrous thing ever, regardless of what we do. Someone said, so afraid to fail, especially in my academics and not having everything I want. Like I said, it's all in that category of learning to not control things. Sometimes you just have to do what you can and let it be. And don't worry, I'm on you with the academic validation. I don't have anything to say about that, because I did it and I got A's. No matter how bad it turned me into. Just how to recognize animosity and set boundaries to have healthy female friendships. I can't describe a healthy female friendship, but I'm in a healthy female friendship. And I guess that comes from, again, reading books. There's healthy female friendships examples in the Bible. There's a lot of literature to read concerning healthy relationships and friendships in general. And the best way to recognize and set boundaries is to set boundaries. It sounds very cliche, but it's not cliche. To set boundaries, yeah, you need to be self-aware enough and confident enough to tell someone to their face that I don't like what you're doing, and say it straight. People are not gonna like it when you set boundaries. They're gonna call you bitchy, they're gonna call you wicked, they're gonna say that you're this, they're gonna say that you're that. And all you're gonna have to do again is, if you're very self-aware and you're self-conscious and them trying to like fire back at you, it's not gonna touch you, because then you're gonna recognize that they're just doing that because they're angry that you've asked for boundaries, and then that already gives you the answer that you already need to know. That was some good matcha, very good matcha. Shuffling spiritual growth, accepting God's will, and a Christian relationship. Where do I start in this? Let's start with shuffling spiritual growth. But when it comes to spiritual growth, I'm still getting there. I'm still very much getting there. I still have this hunger and thirst for God and His Word, but because I'm in a space that I don't want to be, it has limited me wanting to even go to a church here. So I'm waiting to move before I can actually have a church and go to church on Sundays, if that makes sense. I can even be transparent as I am right now. I won't work on Sundays, not because I don't want to go to church, but because I was even not wanting to go to church here. That I only go to church when I'm not in this town, if that makes sense. Accepting God's will comes from accepting God's will. Sometimes we don't even know what His will is, we just don't have to let it be. Accept it regardless, because God isn't going to give us something that we can't handle. God isn't going to give us something that we can't navigate. And God is always making sure that we have an amazing end regardless. And having a Christian relationship is very beautiful. I have that. Thankfully, I have that. I pray with my boyfriend. Whenever he calls me up by 5 a.m. in the morning, I do my Bible study with him. We talk about what has been said in the particular chapter that I'm reading, and it's really, really amazing. I'll have to say that. That's the end of my girl talk. Thanks for staying here. Thanks for being a girl. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm gonna see you guys in my next vlogmas. Mwah! Bye bye.